Paradox Interactive grand strategy games are notoriously difficult for a new player to learn, or even for an old player to fully grasp after updates or time off. However, there are ways to mitigate the difficulties of the games, especially if you're playing non-Iron Man mode. If you're looking for how to get around certain difficulties in Iron Man mode, I recommend you check out this other video I made about how to cheat or save scum on Iron Man mode. This video will instead focus on the game console in all Paradox games and how to use it to gain better access to whatever nations you want, whatever paths you want, or maybe just to cheat fully and just have more fun with the game. Almost all Paradox games allow access to the console through using the tilde key. The tilde key is this key as shown on screen and will allow you to access the console. Some of the Paradox games will require you to put in codes before launching the game to access the console, though this isn't the case for most Paradox games. The way you would do this, and for example what I had to do for Vic 3, at least at first, was go into the game's properties in Steam and go to launch options and put in the specific code you need to put in to access the developer console. Once you have the console open, unless you've memorized all the console commands, you will have to go to Google and look up the specific game console commands you want. So for example, if you want to Google EU4 console commands, you'll open up Google, search in EU4 console commands, and click on the Paradox Wiki link, which will list out all the console commands, which you can then Control F to find what you need, or just scroll down through the sections. I usually use these console commands to set up scenarios before the game starts. Some interesting country I want to form, or some union I want to make in Hearts of Iron 4. But they can also be used to fix saves if you've messed up in the game, or to make it just so your nation's overpowered and you win easily. Most of the games comes with a base set of console commands, which will be the same across most of them. This would include AI, which will turn off the AI for your nations, FOW, which will turn off the fog of war so you can see the whole world and not just your allies or your own nation, the tag command, which will let you tag switch to other nations. The way you usually figure out what a nation's tag is, and just general what province ID and modifiers are if you want to annex a province, is you would do in debug_mode command. And in that, it will tell you nations tags if you hover over them, province IDs, and other important information. This is usually similar across most games and will allow you to switch to certain nations and will just allow you better access to take over provinces, etc. Another important command that's usually generalized across most Paradox games is Yes Man, which will allow you to have AI nations accept any diplomatic offer you send them. For example, if you send over an alliance, they will accept your alliance, or if you send them a vassalization request, they will accept your vassalization request. From there, if you want to find specific commands, as I mentioned earlier, you can use Control F and look through the wikis to find commands. For example, if you want to form Russia early in EU4, you would look at what Russia requires, annex those provinces through the annex province command, tech up using the tech commands, and then from there form Russia easily. You could do this with basically almost any nation, and it's great just using console commands to get to a nation you want or make a scenario you want, almost like simple modding. Or in the case of Hearts of Iron, forming a faction, you can add people to the faction by putting on Yes Man, turning off AI, switching to their nations, accepting them to the faction, forming nations that way, things you need to form a nation. Or if you want to peace out of a war and take some provinces, you can make your own custom peace deals. Commands are just a great way to make the game more fun and more interesting for you without having to use sometimes poorly made game mechanics. One final command would be Observe, which will allow you to become a non-player nation and watch the world develop, though this isn't available for every Paradox game. From here, it's on you as a player to look into what commands you want to do, how you want to use them, and from there, just play the game to how you want to play it. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any suggestions for future tutorials you want, please put it down in the comments. Sincerely, Wonder Productions.